Hello, my name is Cindy and I work for Vipkid, and I just wanted to share with you after class report on Chinese New Year. I will be taking down my Chinese New Year decorations, and I just wanted to make a video to just share a little bit about what my classes were like this year during the Chinese New Year 2020. And so I taught some of my classes did cancel, and so I had a few less classes on Friday night. Chinese New Year was on like our Friday night and into our Saturday morning. When I got up early Saturday morning at 5:30 a.m., my first class was a level 2. She worked all the way through level 1 and now she's level 2. And at 5:30 a.m., I could hear on the television that there were fireworks. I could hear the fireworks going in the background, which was kind of strange that it didn't bother the student at all, but I could hear it and it was kind of distracting. But I think the parents were probably watching it on TV. So that was interesting. And I saw three of my regulars on Saturday morning, and then I had two open spaces in the morning, so that was fine. So I had a little bit of a break. Then Saturday night, I had one class with, let's see, two classes for one student. He's a level 5. So now with the new laws, they cannot have two back to back by the same person. So I had him a class, and then I had another student, and then I had him again. And so the first class was all about pollution, and he told me that he lived kind of in the country, and we had a lot of fun with the first class, and we actually drew this rat together. This is not the exact rat because I drew this again later, but what I did was I drew a step-by-step drawing, and I started with the face, and then we added the ears, and then we went along to add the drawing, and he drew it as well on his own paper. The class right after him was one of my students that I had last week, and last week she was coughing. And so when I opened the camera, she had a medical mask along her in front of her face, and she was still coughing. So I was wondering if maybe she had gotten the virus. 2020 Chinese New Year is when they have the coronavirus going around. I think that's how you say it. And so it is very dangerous. A lot of people are staying in. They are closing a lot of public transportation, and it's quite pervasive among around the country. But I had determined I'm not going to really talk to the students about it at all, but it was kind of sad to see the student. She didn't cough throughout the entire class, but when she coughed, it was pretty substantial. So it was kind of hard. But she was sweet. She was all dressed up, ready to go. She did not look like she was sick at all, but then she had the bad cough. So my heart went out to her. And then she just powered through her class, did a great job. And then I had my student again, and he's a level 5. And so on the second slide of the level 5, it says you can talk for 1 minute about anything you want to talk about. So since I had already had him once, I asked him, is there anything you want to talk about? And then he asked me if I had heard about the disease, and he gave it a number. And I was like, okay, so he wants to talk about the disease. I didn't really want to talk about it because I didn't really know what to say. But he said that he where he lives is very close to Hangzhou, the where they're saying that the virus originated. And he said he had been outside. So I asked him if he knew how to take care of himself in, this type of situation. And we talked about washing your hands and, you know, just staying safe, staying inside, stay off of public transportation. So I wasn't really going to talk about it at all, but since the student brought it up, and so it was interesting. So they have the Chinese New Year, plus they have this virus going around, which is kind of um, a little scary for the kids, but we did a great job. We were talking about trash, so it's kind of funny to meet a kid for the first time and then talk about a lot about trash. And he had to read the same story twice and everything, and he did a great job. We talked about some grammar, and he asked some really good questions. He was very, very particular about his grammar, and that was good, but it kind of makes you think as a teacher, you know, making sure you get it right. So that was a little bit of a challenge, but it was really cool to be able to teach the kids during their Chinese New Year break. I did not mention that on Friday night I had one class, and that student was actually in bed. Like he was just waking up, and he wasn't wanting to get up at all. So he basically had the iPad with him, and we just did the lesson while he was reclining, basically. So you never know what kind of situations you're going to come up with during the Chinese New Year. I know last year I had kids that they had parties, they get together with their families, they might be at restaurants. Last year, I remember I taught a kid that was on a train, and he was going to visit his family. He was actually on the train, and I could hear noises in the background, but the student was pretty attentive throughout the class. So during Chinese New Year, you don't really know what's going to happen, and you don't know what your students are going to be doing when you turn on the camera. But you just have to remember that they are on their break, they're out of schedule. They could be doing anything, anywhere, anytime, and you just kind of go along with it. Smile, wish them a happy new year, and I did learn how to say Jinyan Kuai La. No, Jinyan Kuai Le. Jinyan Kuai Le. And we did some really awesome drawings, and this is a drawing that somebody put up on Facebook, and I kind of did it step by step, starting with the head, and then we added to it throughout the class. Then we added the fireworks, and it was a lot of fun. I also have a picture of one that a student drew during class that was really fun, and I added the colors to it as well. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, there we go. She did a great job. It was a lot of fun. So that's a really good idea, to have the student draw on at the end, and we talked about the different parts of the body of the mouse, and you could have them draw on the blank slide, or you could have them draw on their own paper and kind of follow along throughout the class. So that's a really fun way to do the reward for something different. So thank you for watching, and if you like this video, I'd really appreciate you giving it a thumbs up and a like. And if you like the content on my channel, please support me by subscribing to my channel, and let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to talk about or to share with you, and let me know how I can help you in any way. Send me an email at normancindy13@gmail.com. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.